Hey, welcome. Great to have you here. Episode of Pastor and the Professor. We're in a new
one.
session. What do we call it?
Yeah,
New series.
series.
Yeah,
And maybe our regular friends are saying, okay, we were on the armor of God
Yep.
for
8 weeks.
Yeah, it took a while.
8 or 9.
We had this great image of, okay, we're sort of building the statue, we're flannel graph, putting up the pieces.
Sure.
And it's good. It's done.
Yeah.
So I bet our friends were expecting us to swing the pendulum over to the Old Testament again. We have been on that sort of a rhythm.
Well,
We're staying largely in New Testament.
But we will visit the Old Testament.
Oh, yeah, because we got some creation stuff going on.
Yeah.
But maybe we should tell them, now that they're, we hope, are interested in where we're going, maybe we should tell them where we're going.
We should.
Yeah. It's like a sermon. No, not yet, folks. It's like a sermon. You want to start with a story, an analogy of something that isn't absolutely clear. I don't, you lose me if you say, today's sermon is about, well, okay, I want to get there, but could you make that a little more of a journey for a minute or so?
Yeah. You know, it is, but I really like, it's the hook, right?
Yeah.
It's the lure.
Yeah.
And so a couple of weeks back, I was preaching at Our Redeemer, and I started with, all my high school coaches and college coaches, they all use the same phrase: no pain,
no gain.
No gain.
Right.
And I said, you almost had the same coach.
I
said, I'm wondering if there's a coaching clinic somewhere, and that's Coaching 101. You have to use this phrase.
Phrases you need
and then the
to
other
use.
one is you got to give 110%.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then I said, today's going to be painful.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because it'll be...
Because we're listening to St. Paul ask us to kind of make a survey of our current prayer life.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were going to go, today will be painful, but also gainful. That's got Randy Ross written all over it.
And I told him, it's going to be painful, not only because it's warm in here, and not only because of the length of the sermon, but the topic. So
leave now if you want, but do drop your offering off before you go.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's not a Lutheran service unless there's an offering and 2 announcements.
Yeah. I've never seen a Lutheran service. Now, most of us don't pass the so to speak, the basket or anything anymore. That sort of went away with COVID. But there's always a gathering for the offering at the door, at the back door. I'd like to see a Lutheran service or church that gathers at the very front. You come to the very front. No, I think that'll cut your offering in about half.
Probably. No, they do that in Africa.
Do they?
Yeah, when I was preaching in Ghana, there's two offerings. There's your tithe and then your offering. And the second one, there's music, and they come up front and they dance while they come up front.
Wow.
And then they put it in and they dance on the way back. Yeah.
Lutherans from a very different point of view.
This is most certainly true.
We're not going to be dancing, and nobody wants us to.
And we're not going to. Our next series is not about dancing.
No.
Nor is it about how do you start a sermon.
Right.
Nor is it about offerings.
But you're talking about this one now.
The one that's coming.
Right now.
Yeah.
So we better tell them it is about the means
of grace.
Yep. That somehow we need a God who is gracious and thereby makes, through the things he has made, a connection between himself and us.
Yeah, because on our own, we're spiritually blind, spiritually dead.
Yeah.
Enemies of God.
Exactly. The most hopeless start to a relationship as ever. I mean, there is not a chance in a million.
Yeah.
I'm harnessing my inner Dumb and Dumber. I remember when she said something to the effect of, what chance in a million? So yes, say I've got a chance.
I got a chance.
No, we wouldn't even have that. But God, by many things, says, let me reach to you. And I'm going to finally connect with you in many ways. Yep. And that's what we get to do. Yep. So
it's really the conduit God lays for between him and us.
Right. So our friends who are able to just, for these last weeks, just park on Ephesians 6.
Yep.
We're going to be moving around a little bit. If you want to join us in our page-turning Bible journey. But a God who says, I have to connect with you.
Right.
I'm not going to stand in in lonely isolation, imagining you'll find me and somehow be worthy of me and knock on the right door and I might let you in. Oh, wouldn't that be a horrible God? We have a God who's actively searching for us, a good shepherd who uses every means possible to say, come here, you're mine.
You know, I had someone define it this way. God is on top of a mountain.
Okay.
All the religions of the world are trying to build a road up that mountain to get to God.
Yeah.
Christianity says God came down from the mountain.
Right to us.
Right to us.
And all your circuitous attempts, a Tower of Babel. They'll go nowhere.
Dead ends.
Exactly.
Yep. Ain't going to happen.
No.
Yeah.
No. And even if they did, it would be an exercise of pure vanity, whereby I made it too bad for you.
Yeah.
Which is always what the law does. It's either pride or despair.
Yes.
And that's purely what it be.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, but instead, we have a God who comes to us. All right. Well, so where should we start with? We were talking about this beforehand. Do you want to start with creation, or do you want to start with the voice of conscience? Two ways that God says, I'm here. What do you like? Which one?
We could almost marry those two.
Well, I wouldn't
in
have
Romans 1.
Right. If I don't have a creation,
yeah,
I have no means by which to hear that voice of conscience.
Right.
So maybe you better make us and the world around us.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that then we can hear it.
Yep.
Well, if our friends want to go, I've just got Romans 1, 18, 19, 20, real quickly. For the wrath of God is revealed from heaven against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men who by their unrighteousness suppress the truth. Now, 19 is the key. For what can be known about God is plain to them. God has shown it to them. His invisible attributes, namely his eternal power and divine nature, have been clearly perceived ever since the creation of the world. In the things, I got this folded over, that have been made. They're without excuse. Although they knew God, they didn't honor him as God or give thanks to him, but became futile in their thinking, and their foolish hearts were darkened. Claiming to be wise, they became fools, and exchanged the glory of the immortal God for images resembling mortal man and birds and animals and creeping things. In other words, idols were being made left and right. Instead of the creator, I got fascinated by the creation and confused one for the other.
Yeah. We haven't moved too far from that.
I was just wondering, what is the eternal appeal of exchanging the creator for his creation and then either worshiping the existing creation or manipulating, making our own version thereof? And oddly enough, worshiping what we ourselves made. That odd?
Yes. Because minds clouded by sin do odd things.
Well, true.
So Adam and Eve have this union with God, perfection.
Yeah.
But they disobey God. They eat the forbidden fruit. Yeah. The relationship is broken. In Genesis chapter 3, they hear the voice of God. Now instead of running to it, they run from it.
We're booking.
Right?
Yeah.
And then God says, Adam, what'd you do? And now Adam's relationship with Eve is kind of distorted.
Oh, man, this woman you gave me.
Right.
Oh.
So how do we fix it? And I think the human mind is, I broke it, I better fix this thing.
True.
You broke it, you buy it.
Right.
The antique store would say.
Exactly. In fact, I'll even run over and I'll fix what you broke.
Yes. Yeah.
As a display of, I don't know, some kind of measure of God, creative power or recreative power.
So how do I know this God? I don't know. So I better fashion him.
Exactly. But
right? And I'll create God in my own image.
And I'll be fascinated by what he's got.
Yeah.
Until it's not. Until it broke.
There you go.
Years ago, we had a visit day at Concordia, and Steve Smith, the pastor, wonderful, said, "Hey Dan, you're the preacher." Okay, so we got all these visitors, and I thought, well, what am I going to do? I said, okay, you know what? I'm going to be a visitor. So I got one of our young tour guides to give me a tour of the front of the chapel. I said, we'll start over the stained glass windows and the beautiful woodwork and the beautiful stones and more stuff. And then somewhere along the line, have me introduce me to Pat Ferry, our president, and his wife, Tammy. And I said to Pat and Tammy, just go with me. just put the fear of the unknown in them. Just go with it, okay? And that's it. Now, this is when we had remember those old pews, the old original?
Yes, the old oak, the white oak.
The white oak ones, and they were cracked, and they were just broken in every way. And I mean, no offense, but they'd had hard service. And this is before we replaced them, and I knew where there was one that was really bad. I mean, it was cracked. The hem rack was broken. It creaked. It was just bad. And I told the guide to take me past the president and then past this one. So when I went past the president, I just shook his hand. She said, "Oh, you're supposed to shake my hand. Come on. Hey, you get to be President Ferry."
Oh,
yeah. So she introduced me. This is our president. Oh, yeah. But I'm looking at the stained glass windows. I'm looking at the nice altar.
Not paying attention to him.
Yeah, and here's his wonderful wife. Yeah. No attention really to the president until I walked past that bad pew. And I looked at that pew and I said, whoa, wait a minute. Look at this thing. It looks bad. It's broken. Hey. And I turned back to the president. Aren't you the president? What are you going to do about this? And there's the rub. I'm fascinated by the creation until I find a fault in it.
And then
then I turn to the creator.
What are you going to do about this?
What are you going to do about it? This is your problem.
Oh, that's good.
Fix it.
That's
Fix
good.
it. Isn't that our nature?
Yes.
I'll revel in postcard pictures or calendar pictures, which I'm all for. Beautiful.
You have a lot of them.
Yeah. But when the storm breaks over me and, then where are you, God?
Well, which is why we hear some people say, well, I can't believe in a God that allows children to have an illness.
Oh, yes.
I can't allow myself to believe in or serve a God where innocent villagers are swept away by a monsoon flood.
Or tornado, hurricanes, all that thing. Yeah, and then naturally we say, acts of God. Why did you do this, God? Yeah. The hurricane or whatever.
Years ago.
Yeah.
When Billy Graham was young, there was another preacher who was probably better known than Billy at the time. His name was Charles Templeton.
Okay, I've heard the name.
And he was this powerful preacher until one day he saw the cover of either Look or Time magazine. It was an African woman with sorrow in her face holding a lifeless body of a 2-year-old with a distended stomach. And the article was about, the famines. And his comment was, I cannot believe anymore in a God that would allow this to happen. And he became an atheist.
Oh, sad.
Yeah. And I believe Lee Strobel went and visited him.
Okay, Case for Christ.
And I think he said, I wish I had what I had before, but I can't.
Isn't that sad?
It really is. It's terrible. It's terribly sad.
Lest the fault I find in creation turns me against the Creator so that I see only the fault.
Yeah.
And I don't see that he, on the darkest of days, put his son to death to pay for this world and all its brokenness.
My sermon title would be, He's Not the Fault, He's the Fix.
Oh, that's good.
Little alliteration.
Exactly. I was just going to say, Randy Ross alliteration. Absolutely. Yeah. Not the fault, but the
fix. We're the fault.
Right.
And he's the fix.
So, I mean, if you say, God, what are you going to do about this?
Yeah.
He could just point to the cross and said, well, let's be modest. Well, I did do something.
Yeah.
I gave you my son.
Yeah.
And then 3 days later, I gave you life.
Yeah.
Because that's also his gift, not just a dark day, but an empty tomb.
And guess what? You didn't have to do anything.
Either one. Yeah. But I'm going to take you with me, for whosoever lives and believes in me will never die.
Yeah.
Do you believe this? And Martha, to her eternal credit, said, yes, Lord, I believe. And her brother was still dead.
Yep.
And all the sorrow was still there.
Yep.
But she believed. Yep. Yeah. As friends know, John 11.
So by nature, we talk about creation. By nature, by reason, we should be able to say, something had to get this going.
Exactly. And I'm all for those beautiful moments. Right. You know, the calendar pictures, and we've all been in those calendar moments. And this is beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm so glad to be here, you know, to see some measure of this.
A sunset by a beach.
Absolutely.
Of a rainbow.
Yep. The moon rising over Lake Michigan. If our friends know where we live, it's magnificent.
The picture of Earth beyond the moon.
Oh, yes.
From Apollo 8.
Exactly.
Oh, it's
exactly.
Gorgeous.
Or
Earthrise.
Ooh. My motorcycle on a gravel road And as the setting sun comes down, I mean, nothing defines love like, this is a tagline from one of the guys at one of the motorcycle forums, and he says, love is the feeling you have when you look at your motorcycles. I like that guy.
Put simply.
It's simple. I mean, do you want to find love? Well, it's not that hard, really.
So,
but those are beautiful moments.
Yeah.
Do we give God credit instantly for that beauty?
Oh, I don't think.
Not as fast as we find fault.
No.
I think we're quicker on the fault.
I look at creation. Creation can tell me there is a God.
True.
But it doesn't really define who this God is.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
The same as my conscience. If I understand that there's a right and a wrong, every law needs a lawgiver.
Right.
Every standard needs a standard bearer.
Right.
So how do I know what's right and what's wrong?
Yeah.
Unless someone first established right and wrong. I know it's wrong to go more than 25 miles an hour downtown Cedarburg.
Yeah.
How do I know that? Someone put the sign up there.
Right. And they'll remind you of that if you need to.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. Right. So I can hear, so to speak, the conscience as a voice.
Sure.
But whose voice? That's a deeper question.
There you go.
There is a voice, but lest I say...
Who made these standards?
Right, because it wouldn't be easy to say, well, I heard a voice that said 40 is fine.
Yes.
Just hit that street going northbound on Sheboygan Road.
Yeah.
If our friends don't know, it's a main drag out of Cedarburg. It's 25.
Yeah.
If I say I heard a voice saying 40, that's 45. No, chaos. Yeah.
Well, here's the voice that says, make sure you have this paid in 10 days.
Exactly. You're in trouble.
Well, and the other interesting thing is, no matter what period in history or what culture or civilization, we all have the basic ideas of what's right and wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? You don't murder someone.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
Stealing.
I should know that.
Yeah,
right. Stealing.
These basics. Isn't it interesting that all people at all times pretty much have the same basic conscience?
Golden rule.
Is that a coincidence?
No. And or is it just a good turn in moral living? Because left to ourselves, we still would be selfish, self-protecting, and such. So I need a body of I don't need a body of rules. Yes, I have those. But I need the assurance from one that this is his message to me. Yeah. But I'm still not quite there yet because here's we're talking about the beauty of creation. Wonderful. Show me it's fall. Show me one of those aspen valleys in Colorado, all those beautiful trees, all that yellow and golden. Yeah. Isn't that just magnificent? Show me a dead tree and say, but there's your hope. And that's the wonder of the gospel, isn't it? It's not the beauty of the living. It's the dead tree on Calvary's Hill, and there's your hope.
That cries out hope.
That's hope.
Yeah.
Aren't we strange people? You know, when a person is dying in a Christian room, a Christian hospital, that's what we point to. See that dead tree and see that man on it?
Yeah.
There's your hope.
Yeah. You know, Archie Bunker said it. He defined hope, or he defined faith as something that no man in his right mind would ever believe.
Well, good for Archie.
Isn't it?
That's right.
That's right up there.
Well, it is.
With all the Christian philosophers of all time.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Because why would I believe that one man's death 2,000 years ago, tragedy that it is, has any effect on my life or any eternity for me?
Right.
Well, no. But faith, given to us by words, means of grace, says, that is what I believe. And you and I have seen that so often as somebody goes closer and closer to death. We affirm for them, and they affirm back to us, that's what I believe. Yeah. I believe it.
Right.
Absolutely. Yeah. And we say, I know you believe this for all your life, from baptism on.
Would natural man ever conjure up a plan of salvation like that?
No, because they're too busy going up the mountain to ever imagine a God who is willing to be
coming
down and to be buried.
Yeah.
And then after 3 days saying, enough of this.
Back up to the mountain.
I'm preparing
walking out
a
place for you.
Right. The carpenter's ultimate work.
Yeah.
And no, we wouldn't come up with it.
No, that.
Like if you and I tried to invent the gospel, I think our natural reason would just stop and say, no, too much.
Yeah. Right.
The eye has not seen nor the ear heard that which God has prepared for those who love him. And we would, if we tried, we would say, can't.
As Francis Rosso would say.
Okay.
The gospel is the last creative thing.
Oh, that's good.
Ever put on earth.
That's good.
The last original thought.
Exactly. And you could hear, and Rev Rosso was great at that there are facets of that taken into a story or some moment, you know.
The gospel handle.
But even then, it's so tremendous that this one would die for that one.
Yeah.
Paul does that in Romans.
Yeah.
Perhaps for a good man, someone might possibly dare to die.
Yeah.
So we'll tell that story. You know, someone chose to die to save others.
Yeah.
The fellow who jumps on the grenade to save his squad.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And we're all just like, oh, my gosh. And we'll give him the Medal of Honor, fittingly so, posthumously. But somehow that saves the world?
Yeah.
Then our little voice says, it's impossible. Yeah. Can't be done. Yeah.
You know, this whole gospel of the innocent coming to assume the illness of the
right.
of the guilty is it. We've mentioned this before.
Sure.
The Green Mile.
Green Mile. J.C. Coffey.
It's the original thought, packaged in a different way.
Yes.
And we, as we see that movie, is that's got to be fiction.
Yeah, but
right?
It's a pretty good story.
It's a great story because
it's
based on the greatest story.
Exactly. Yeah. And those are little things. I used to use Pirates of the Caribbean, the original. And at the very end, if you remember right, Elizabeth turns down the Commodore. He's rich. He's got everything. And she's engaged to him and says, no, she's the governor's daughter. Yeah. She's going to go with Will, the blacksmith. Yeah. And the dad says, you know, he is a blacksmith. I was like, honey, you do know this. And then she says, no, he's a pirate. Because remember that the backlog of this whole story is that we're searching for the only son of the pirate, Bootstrap Bill.
Yeah.
And if we find the only son, his blood, when shed, redeems men from the everlasting curse.
Yeah.
And she found him.
Yeah.
And he's only a blacksmith or carpenter.
Yeah, exactly.
And I say to the students, that'd make a good story, wouldn't it? If we could find it. And they go,
the last original
it's a story. Exactly. Brought to you by Pirates of the Caribbean, and such. And there he is. Yes. And she says it beautifully. Keira Knightley is the actress for this. She says it, as I always say, Dad says, he is a blacksmith. And she doesn't say, oh, Dad, it's worse than that. I got to tell you, he's a pirate. It's really bad. No, she says, no, he's a pirate. Exactly. Yeah. And that's what we say of, he's crucified. I have determined to know nothing among you but Christ crucified. The crucified. Yeah. And we don't say, he's crucified. No.
Not only condemned.
Yeah. Oh, boy. No, crucified, chosen that because his blood, when shed, redeems the world from its curse. Yeah, it works.
Oh,
Rev Rosso was right.
Over and
There's
over,
only one story. Yeah, right. Oh, so we have a creation that should and does, and it's our best moments, but it does point us to Him. Do you think the creation not only points to God now, reaching towards us, having made us, on its best days, those postcard days, calendar days, is it also promising us some measure of eternal life? What heaven might be like?
I think there's a lot of reminders.
I do too.
Don't you?
I do.
Yeah. The rainbow is a reminder for me. Not only that we're not going to have a flood, but something better is coming.
And that's a wonderful, there's creation, but its message is pure gospel. Isn't that a nice bridge from not just that you ought to know there's a creator, that's an obligation of knowledge, but, there's more a gracious God is to do. I think that the beauty of creation should point to, and we have that in Revelation 21, 22, those measures of describing a perfect garden, of trees of life, flowing
tranquil
water.
Sea.
Exactly. Beauty. And I know none of that really is going to capture it, but there's the mercy of God that says, as it's at its best here, so even more it will be. But here,
Yeah.
I'm just giving you this to draw you
Yeah,
in.
the best day on earth never matches the best
Right.
day in heaven.
Exactly.
Any day in heaven.
Exactly. It's going to be far, far more.
Yeah.
I think we sometimes bring things with us in our minds. Well, it'll
sure.
be a great day. Heaven will be a great place
Yeah.
if my dog is there.
There you go.
And I'm not against your dog
If
being
we
there.
can golf.
Yeah, right, exactly. If my Model T makes it to heaven,
There
or
you go.
and whatever, and such. So I never get too upset. If you teach a confirmation class to 8th graders, if their heaven is only heaven if their dog is there, I can live with. I can live with that. We're not going to go to battle over it.
But what we find in comments like that is, I know heaven's going to be perfect.
Right. I was so sad when my dog died, but I know I have a loving, kind God.
Yeah.
And
Fido's going to be there.
Right. And it's Revelation 21. There's no more crying, no more mourning, no more pain, no more sorrow, no more death.
Yep.
For those things have passed away. So whatever God does to create or fulfill that verse, we'll leave it in his hand. But then creation will speak to us about his kindness.
Yeah.
Perfect. I don't think heaven will be this off-white, fuzzy, misty,
sitting on a cloud,
right? And so
harp.
right, and so foggy and such. I can barely hear the guy next to me wherever, and such. No, there'll be more of that. So creation has been, continues, will be an expression of God reaching for us.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. All right.
Do I fully know God by observing the creation?
No.
I can tell that he's powerful.
Detailed.
He's detailed, orderly.
Oh, yeah.
We have seasons and
right. Despite the horror movies of asteroids coming to destroy us.
There you go.
It hasn't happened.
Yeah.
But do I know his mercy?
There you go. I might, because of some of the stuff I know about him, I might tend to be a little fearful.
Yeah.
If he is this powerful.
Yeah.
And I don't really have a relationship with him.
If I just lived on a mountainous foothill and I look up at that 14,000-foot peak with the wind roaring over the top, always snow-covered, always inhospitable.
Let's go to a movie.
Okay.
Sandlot.
Oh!
I can peer over the fence.
But who do I see there?
There's this angry dog.
Oh, man.
And the guy who lives there.
Oh, even
horrible.
Worse. Oh, my gosh.
But when I get the personal connection.
Right.
My goodness. What a great guy. What a storyteller. And that dog.
Oh, just a kitten.
He loves me. But isn't this it? We might try to peek over the fence and we see the power of creation,
right?
Or the power behind creation,
right?
And oof,
yeah.
I don't know if I want to go near.
I don't want to go there.
So a lot of religions are all about appeasing the gods.
Yes, and even to do that peak, I'm on a. Isn't there in the movie? They're sort of built up. They're on one on another. They're built up. It's a precarious perch.
It is
for us. That's not going to last. I thought so too. There's no peace in that precarious perch. Okay, I'm done.
A lot of problems.
Put it to tune. Give us a tune. Add a pickup truck, and we got a perfect country song. All right. Oh, I think we bothered our friends for our 30 minutes.
I think so.
Such. But having said that, there is still more. There's more to this means of grace. Then I need a God who reaches me, and who does so in more than one way. Mm-hmm. Which reflects his creativity.
And not just once. He continues to.
True. That's nice. Yes. Yeah. Who's tireless in his reaching. Yeah. I would have gotten tired, done, said that's it.
In Sandlot, can't you picture those kids desiring to go back to that guy's house over and over? Tell us a story again.
And what's this one? And pulls out that ball with Babe Ruth.
Yeah.
And the whole,
Talk to me about these baseball cards.
Yeah, exactly.
Tell me what it was like.
In the ideal, it's a timeless one. In fact, he's got lemonade and fresh cookies waiting for these boys, hoping they'll come.
Yeah.
Oh, that we would find a God who welcomes us and feeds us without end, never tiring.
Yeah.
Well, I bet you we should tell that story. down the road. But for now,
people might want to tune in again.
That might be.
So then you'll know the rest of the story.
You know, we've never played with that.
I know.
But maybe Paul Harvey's estate would sue the socks off of us.
I'm not sure our viewership is that broad.
Probably they don't worry about us. Only in my delusional state do I think. Oh, yeah. They're watching us like a hawk. Didn't we? We were going to say nice things about some couple, and then we had the delusion that somebody would hear us and run to them and say, "Hey, these two guys up in Wisconsin were talking about you," and I can't remember who we were talking about. It was some famous couple, country singers. Maybe it was Tim and Faith.
It might have been.
Might have been.
I think it might have been.
It might have been, and that they're still married and all these things.
Yes.
Yeah. So
what a good demonstration.
Right,
of commitment.
and it was all good.
Yeah.
And so in my delusional happiness, I think somebody is running to Tim and Faith saying, "You know those two guys in Wisconsin? They were talking about you in a good way.
Yeah.
So don't sue them."
My niece and her husband were married during COVID, and they were only allowed to have 10 people in the backyard.
Oh my!
And her dad is a pastor, so
he could do it.
He got to do the service,
right?
But her brother felt bad, and they lived in Nashville, and he called a couple, and I probably shouldn't mention who they are. They may not want this to be known. Husband and wife, recording artists.
Oh,
And he said, "Hey, can you come sing?" And they sang.
Oh, isn't
but
that
they said,
nice?
Don't put anything on Facebook, otherwise the street's going to be lined with people, and we're going to get in trouble. But they showed up and they
sang for them.
Yeah.
Isn't that nice? How gracious!
Oh, very nice.
Oh, wonderful people. All right. Well, give our friends your tagline.
We're going to say thank you for joining us. Hope you can connect with us again next week. And until our next episode, God bless you, and we'll see you in church.
Sounds good.